Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last weekend, the Michigan State hockey team went out to Wisconsin as the #1 team in the country. That top ranking motivated the Badgers to pull out a 4-0 victory in Game 1 of the series, but MSU would respond, though, in Game 2 by winning in overtime on Isaac Howard, a Wisconsin native's game-winning goal. The Spartans are going to be back on the road this weekend, taking on Minnesota, the new #1 team in college hockey. And this past week, we had a chance to catch up with Adam Nightingale as the now 3rd-ranked Spartans get ready for another very challenging task on the road in the Big Ten.
Isaac Howard fights for possession, stumbles down to his knees. Stramel, good pass, Basco right in front. Howard scores! Good night, Wisconsin. The man nicknamed Mike finishes off the Badgers.
Coming off of the series with Wisconsin, I guess, what did you learn about the group? First Big Ten road series for them this year.
Yeah, really tough test. I mean, I think, Wisconsin's, they started the year as a top 10 team, and they've had some injuries and different things. They're going to win a lot of hockey games down the stretch and a tough building to play in. So, I think we learned how to stay with it. I thought the first game we got down, and I thought I don't want to say panicked, but kind of got away with what we need to do. You just got to believe, and doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but we got to play the way we need to play to be a good hockey team. And even the second night, we're to be down 2-0 on the road to come back. I think that said a lot about the group.
I think you've talked about, when you go on the road, obviously, a lot of teams, they see that ranking next to Michigan State. Last week it was the #1, and knowing you're going to get the other team's best shot. How do you feel like the team handled that in both games, really?
Good. I mean, I think, that happened last year, right? Wisconsin came here. They were the #1 team in the country, and we ended up beating them twice. So they were looking to return the favor. And I think for our guys, that's, really the next step is like you making sure, we know we're going to see everyone's best, and you're not sneaking up on anyone. But when you talk about player development and our team development, like that's huge. You got to be at your best every night. And I thought we learned that definitely throughout the weekend, and we got to make sure we keep doing it throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, what did you like about the response from Game 1 to Game 2 against Wisconsin to bounce back?
I thought it was great. We had a meeting in the morning, and those are, we coach our guys. And we're pretty honest with them, right? And some areas we need to be better at. And right off the bat, I thought we were definitely better at those things. So credit to the guys. But we ended up down 2-0, and that was the message from the first night. Is like even if it's not going your way, you still got to stay with it and keep doing it the right way. You can't cheat the game. And for the guys to get rewarded with a win, that's huge for their confidence.
Yeah, I think back to last year's series with Michigan when they won the first game. Then you guys go there and you're down in, I think, the second period, and they find a way to come back and win.
Yeah.
Sort of similar to what happened this past weekend, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think that was we got pounded at home, and then I think we were down 4-1, and it was a TV timeout. I think we were getting outshot like 30-9, and that was a big-time character win. So we got some guys from that team that remember that, and that, it's a good lesson. Again, you're not going to win every single one of those games, but you gotta try to master who we need to be as a team, and every shift you got a chance to do that.
Moore centering pass comes back to Renzel. He'll fire, scores!
Now as you get ready for Minnesota, obviously they're the new #1 team in the country, coming off a very impressive sweep of Michigan. What just stands out and what makes them very, very good?
Yeah, I think their coaching staff does a great job. I mean, obviously they're talented, and you look up and down their lineup, they got a ton of depth. I think their back end is as good as there is in college hockey. Obviously offensively they're gifted, but also defensively make it hard on you to create offense. So in a tough building to play in, you look at it'll be whatever 10,000-11,000 sold out barn and hostile environment. But again, that's why we're fortunate to play in this conference. We got an opportunity to go there and grow as a team.
I know you just asked this in your press conference about going there and no longer having to play on the Olympic sheet of ice they used to have. When you had to go there and play on that Olympic sheet, how did you prepare for that?
We talked about something. At the end of the day, you got to play the game in between the dots, and that size is the same. Everything else is on the outside. So offensively, you can kind of fall in love with the outside and think you're doing something. And then defensively, you can get extended out there. It's a tough place to play, but I thought last year we were better there on a smaller sheet for sure.
How do you feel like the guys this week have really just bought into getting ready to go out there and try to take them down?
Yeah, they're excited. I mean, it's the last week, right? It's finals week, so they're trying to finish strong. That's the message, right? You want to finish strong in the classroom. We want to finish strong in the first half. We've had a pretty good first half here, and we got an opportunity to finish strong. And So they're excited about getting on the road in 2 more Big Ten games.
After this weekend, do you get any time off, or do the guys get any time off for the holidays?
Yeah, well, we've got a handful of Minnesotans on our team, so they'll just stay out there, and then, yeah, we'll be off, and then I think it ends up being maybe 9 days. We'll come back Christmas evening, practice, and get ready for the GLI.
This weekend's series at Minnesota will be Michigan State's final series before the Great Lakes Invitational out in Grand Rapids on December 29th and 30th. And for players like freshman Shane Van Sage, this will be their first chance to play in the annual holiday tournament. After the break, we're going to be sitting down with the St. Louis native to talk more about his journey to East Lansing.
When you grocery shop with MSU FCU Cashback Plus, you get cash back. When you buy prescriptions, you get cash back. When you travel, dine out, buy gas, make home improvements, get up to 20% of your hard-earned cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Discover how at msufcu.org/cashback plus.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Michigan State hockey coach Adam Nightingale preaches the ability to roll all 4 lines night in and night out. And when it comes to the 4th line for MSU, which is made up of a lot of underclassmen, it has lived up to the standard Nightingale has set, as true freshman Shane Van Sage is 3rd on the team in points. Our Haley Schoengart recently had a chance to sit down with the St. Louis native and has more on how he became a Spartan.
For the draw, wins it back. Basgel now with it, shoots and deflected in! Van Sage scores!
You have had an incredible start to your freshman campaign here at Michigan State. You've had points in over 50% of the games thus far. What has led to you being able to join college hockey and be able to be so efficient so quickly?
Yeah, I think, a lot to credit to obviously the culture here and Coach Nightingale. Just the trust that he has in me, and I do think that a little part of that is I've earned it, but I think it starts with hard work, and then obviously my time with the NTDP, that kind of set me up for success here, playing college games, and to be able to put in those situations at the NTDP and just to get the reps there really helped me be prepared for this year.
When everyone talks about Adam Nightingale coached hockey here at Michigan State, they always mention the culture. In your eyes, how do you best describe what the culture is here? Well,
first off, I'd say it's special, and a lot of times I hear people say culture, and it's become a buzzword a little bit. But I think the culture here is like, as much as people want to say go out, work hard, and be humble and do things the right way every single time and have a high standard, I think we take those words and we actually put it into action. One of the things Coach Nightingale always says is knees bent hockey, and it's basically just work hard, bend your knees, and skate hard. When did you know you wanted to play for Adam Nightingale? It's kind of started back to when they were picking the team for the NTDP team, and Coach Nightingale was supposed to be our coach for that year, and he got the job here, so he took that. So he was actually had a say in the recruiting process for the NTDP team. Even though he didn't coach us, he was a part of the process of picking the team, and I just think it goes back to that, and I knew that he trusted me and he liked me as a player and as a person, and yeah, I think that's big. One of the big things that why I chose Michigan State is because I thought that these coaches trusted me, and I trusted them that they would help me get to where I wanted to go. What was your first impression of Coach Adam Nightingale, even back to being recruited to play for the NTDP? Yeah, so it was interesting. I didn't talk to him a whole lot, actually. I think I met him one time, at the tryout for the NTDP, and then when I got here in the summer is when I really started to kind of understand who he is as a person, and first impressions were I was amazed. He really does have a high standard, and I respect that. Growing up in St. Louis, what is your very first memory revolving around hockey? Well, my brother and I are the first to play hockey in our family. My mom, I think one of her friends kind of sent her some free learn to skate at the local rink, and my brother was fired up to do it, and I was 3 years old at the time, so I kind of just tagged along with my brother, and ever since then, ever since that first time we laced up the skates, we loved it and never went back. St. Louis is not a huge hockey hotbed, but I do think it's growing. like obviously the Kachuk family is from St. Louis, and I work out at the same gym as the Kachuk family. So, getting to talk to people like that is special.
Growing up, who did you idolize? Was it either of the Kachuks, having been able to train with them and see them kind of evolve through their career?
Yeah, just to see, just talking with them outside of the rink, they're great people. It's a great family, and, seeing them on the ice, they do great things on the ice, they do great things off the ice. So that's one of the things that I, kind of look up to.
You're draft eligible this year. How are you able to block out all of the noise?
It's tough blocking out all the media stuff and the things I see on social media, but I think playing at the NTDP, like I said, there was a lot of talk around, when you make the team, there's a lot of talk on social media and who deserves to be on the team and who doesn't, and I think that experience of being able to get through that has helped me get through the stuff around the draft.
Michigan State has Artem Levshunov go 2 overall in 2024. In what ways are you hoping that Adam Nightingale, strength and conditioning coach Will Morlock, everyone will help you prepare you for that moment?
Well, I first off, I think they've done a good job. They've helped me a lot, and I don't think I'd be where I'm at right now if it wasn't for them and if it wasn't for the people at the NTDP. So I think everyone has helped, but it's been fun working here and being able to do Will's workouts and being able to practice with Adam Nightingale, and I just think that the high standard that we have here has really helped.
Michigan State's hockey team is ranked 3rd in the country, and they are not alone when it comes to being a ranked team on Michigan State's campus. Both the men's and women's basketball programs are in the Associated Press Top 25 rankings, and for the women, it's the first time they're ranked under head coach Robin Freilich. We'll have more with the Spartans right after the break.
I love getting out and trying new things, but my seizures have always kept me back. Thankfully, the providers and researchers at MSU Healthcare work together to get my epilepsy under control. So now I can try anything.
At MSU Healthcare, helping you do you is what matters most to us. In fact, it's our mission. Visit healthcare.msu.edu to find a provider.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
The Michigan State women's basketball team is off to a perfect 9-0 start this season under second-year head coach Robin Freilich, and it's the best start in program history. A big reason why has been the play of transfer Grace Van Slooten. Our Tyler Driesinga had a chance to sit down with a highly touted prospect and has more on how the Oregon transfer has found a home here in East Lansing.
She may be just a junior in college, but Grace Van Slooten's talent on the basketball court has taken her all around the country and the world. It started in high school when Van Slooten made the decision before her senior year to transfer from Notre Dame Academy in her hometown of Toledo to IMG Academy in Florida, one of the most innovative and well-resourced high schools in the country for athletic development.
You go there and you're working out 3 times a day, early mornings, late nights, and there's coaches always there with a really specific plan to see you succeed and help you get better. So, I think just kind of being around like-minded people, want to be around people who work hard, want to get better, really take basketball serious. So I think in the end that was the biggest decision.
It wouldn't be long before Van Slooten was on an international stage. In the summer after her senior year, she helped Team USA's U18 team win gold at the FIBA U18 Americas Championship in Argentina. Then, she was on the move again. Rated as one of the top 15 recruits in the country, she had plenty of college offers to choose from, but ultimately headed to the West Coast to play for Oregon.
I was kind of thrown in as a freshman. I started right away. We had an injury, and I was kind of thrown into the starting lineup, and I had to learn a lot on my feet really quickly. And I would say just learning the pace of college basketball, and then the physicality, just having to adapt to that right away. I think it really prepared me for my next years in college.
In the summer after her freshman year, her talents took her abroad for the second time. She was selected to join USA Basketball's U19 Women's World Cup team, playing alongside some of the other best players her age, names like Hannah Hidalgo and Chloe Kitts. Van Slooten helped the country win gold once again. defeating Spain in Madrid in the championship game.
What are some of your best memories from those opportunities to, kind of play around the world?
Yeah, I would say up there is definitely winning the 2 gold medals. That's a feeling indescribable. You've worked so hard to get to that point, and to really receive that medal is just a feeling that you can't describe, you can't put into words. So definitely up there with the best memories. And then I'd say just, playing different people from all around the world, getting to travel to Argentina and then Madrid, Spain. Just a lot of fun. You get to play with some really good players, and, it's just always really competitive.
Van Sloten returned to Eugene that fall for her sophomore year at Oregon. She averaged 15 points and 7 rebounds per game, earning all Pac-12 honorable mention. Then, one more time, she was on the move. Van Sloten entered the transfer portal and came to Michigan State.
And given your pedigree as a recruit and the 2 years, the numbers that you put up at Oregon, you could have gone a lot of places out of the transfer portal as well. What was it about Michigan State that you liked?
I came here and everybody seemed really connected. They all wanted to work hard. I watched a workout and it was really intense, and I think that's one of the things I was looking for. Is I really wanted to expand my game and just really get better in the off season, and I knew that if I came here I would have the best shot at doing that.
Van Sloten also feels the fast-paced style of play Coach Freilich has implemented fits her perfectly.
I think at Oregon, we started off that way, but as the years went along, we kind of slowed our play down, and that's not really what I was looking to do. So, I love playing fast, I love getting out in transition, and that's exactly how Michigan State plays.
After all her travels, Michigan State brings Van Sloten much closer to where things all started in Toledo. It's allowed her parents to be there for every game. From Florida to Oregon, Argentina to Madrid, Van Sloten has used her talent on the basketball court to see the world. Now she's happy just to see her parents in the stands.
I think they made it to probably 4 games out to Oregon. They would come to our games that were in LA or Arizona, just easier places to get to. But they've been at every single game since I've been at Michigan State. So, just the difference is crazy, and I'm really grateful to be able to look over into the stands and see them there.
Van Sloten has worked really well with graduate forward Julia Aralt this season, as both players are averaging just over 15 points and 8 rebounds a game this season, and it's why head coach Robin Freilich has given them the nickname Double Trouble. After the break, we're going to be sitting down with Freilich to talk about the nickname and a whole lot more.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
This past Sunday, the Michigan State women's basketball team took down DePaul at the Breslin Center 89-61 to improve to 9-0 this season. And as we mentioned, it's the best start in program history. Going back to the week of Thanksgiving, Michigan State also took down Vanderbilt and Cal out in Palm Springs, California to win the Acrisure Classic. Those 2 wins over Vanderbilt and Cal are a big reason Michigan State jumped into the Associated Press top 25 rankings for the first time under second-year head coach Robin Freilich. And we recently had a chance to sit down with Freilich to talk about the great start her team has had this season. Well, undefeated so far this year, newly ranked. What have you liked just about this group so far early in the season?
When we've been tested, we've responded. I think that's something we learned about ourselves out in California. We got tested in both games, playing really good teams, and we responded. So that I'm excited about. And I've liked the way that we've played together. I think that is when we're at our best, and those are things we know that we're going to need as we continue.
Yeah, I think you described them in California as scrappy Spartans, basically. You were down in the fourth quarter in both of those games. The fight that you saw out of the group, is that something you knew going out there, or is that something that was new to see for you?
That's something I knew we had in us. I mean, and it's a difference between having it in you and doing it. But it is something that I feel like we talk about that. We talk about our togetherness being a superpower. We talk about our effort. being a superpower, and in both of those fourth quarters, we saw that come alive.
You described Julia and Grace as double trouble. What have they just brought to the group? Obviously, you bring Grace in to kind of help and make things a little easier for Julia, but how have they really just blended together and played it together?
Well, and a lot of credit to Julia, the way she's embraced Grace coming in, the way she's been so excited to play with her, to teach her. That's a huge part of it, right? Feeling really welcome. And I think our team overall has done a really good job with Grace coming in new as a transfer of making her feel really part of the team. But it's just with time. I think, Julia's playing, and what I always tell Julia is you're a basketball player. Like, we could play you 1 through 5, right? You're a basketball player, and she's taken to that, like that we can move her all over the court. And I think those two together, especially, defensively and rebounding and ability to guard the paint, those have been good things for us.
I know last year it was Theron and Tori were TNT, and then now with Double Trouble. Who comes up with these nicknames?
I do.
Oh, do you? Okay. Is that something you've always had in you, that type of skill?
Coach Kaz is really good at them too. Yeah, she always has some clever, but usually I think of it when I'm watching them practice or when I'm watching film. Something pops in my head.
Vandy with the lead, 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Allen, what a take!
With Theron, where is she just taking an extra step? Obviously, this is her first year being a starting point guard. Why does she just fit the role so perfectly for this group?
Well, especially with our system, her speed, her ability to put pressure on the paint, her ability, she's aggressive. I always tell her one of my favorite things about her is that she's fearless. And that's hard to teach, especially when the game lights go on, to really be fearless. So her speed and her ability to play with pace and the way we play has been a really good match.
How has she, too, maybe help become a leader, I guess? Obviously, Julia and Nyla are the captains, but where has Theron grown in that area as well?
Well, that's been a constant work in progress, and that's been exciting for her to take another step this year. And a big part of being a point guard is knowing what's going on, right? Having a connection with the coaches, with the team, having an ability to remain poised, right, through the ups and downs of a game. So those are things that have been fun to challenge her on. Those are things that she's working on every day. And what I've shared with her is, like, every year, every level demands the next, right? So now we're going to ask for more.
Her play, and obviously the play of others on this team, is a big reason why this group is ranked now for the first time since you've been here. I know a lot of coaches don't pay attention to the rankings, especially this early in the year. Yeah. But just what is it like to see from the outside of, like, the fan base get it maybe a little more excited to see that number next to Michigan State?
Well, what I think, and I agree, it's early, but what I do believe about this team, and from last year too, we earned this. I don't think we're a team that people just casually are putting in the top 25. I think that we've had to, over the course of last year and this season, earn our way into that. So you got to earn your way into it, and you got to earn your way up, and you got to earn your way to stay. So that'll be good motivation for us.
Putting these wins together is similar to what the Tigers were able to do this past season. I know you're a big Tiger fan. What was that like to see the run they went on, and how can that maybe translate to what you're trying to coach here?
Well, the Tigers, the Lions, we've got all kinds of Detroit sports motivation, but I think what we loved, I shared this, what I loved watching the Tigers, it was like they weren't always necessarily had the best players, but they had the best team. And they really bought into that, and it's just so easy to rally around a group that you can feel their connection, you can feel their, I love to call it desperate effort, right? When there's a collective desperate effort for the same mission. So I saw that with the Tigers, and that's a good reminder. I hope we can keep seeing that with the Spartans.
The Spartans are going to begin Big Ten play this Sunday here at the Breslin Center against Iowa, who looks a little different this season without star Caitlin Clark. Tip-off between the Spartans and Hawkeyes is set for noon. That is going to be it for this week's show. As always, we hope you enjoyed. And before we go, our play of the week is one of the best plays you'll see this entire college basketball season.
Now, the play of the week, sponsored by Schupan & Sons.
And Fears accelerates, but blows a tire. Throws it. Oh my gosh! When life gives you lemons, throw it to Cohen Carr. Timeout, Nebraska. Talk about making something out of zilch.
10,000 children in Michigan are in foster care. Many are in need of a temporary home. Are you open?
As a foster parent, you help a child reach their goals.
You make a game-changing assist.
You give a child the home advantage.
And you do it because you know every child deserves a special team.
Ready to cheer on a child? Take the first step to become a foster parent today.
When you grocery shop with MSU FCU Cashback Plus, you get cash back. When you buy prescriptions, you get cash back. When you travel, dine out, buy gas, make home improvements, get up to 20% of your hard-earned cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Discover how at msufcu.org/cashback plus.